Hi, everybody. Welcome to our workshop today. I'm going to give us a minute to let people join. We'll probably start at about 2 after the hour. So sit tight and we'll start shortly. Good afternoon, folks. My name is Josh Doing, and I am the Startup Success Manager at Ventures here at the University of Maryland. This is part of our ongoing startup workshop series. You can view the rest of our workshops at our Ventures startup page on YouTube. This session will also be recorded for future viewing, but just please note that we are recording. Lily Griner, the Business and Economics Librarian here at the University of Maryland, is going to go over some of the various business resources that are available to us through the University of Maryland library system. It'll be a tutorial as she kind of walks through how to find these on the website and how to use all these various resources. If you have questions, please feel free to use the chat or the Q&A function. I will be monitoring that during the presentation, and Lily has asked that I jump in and ask those questions as soon as they come up. So please submit those as you see them. And with that, I'll turn the time over to Lily to walk us through our workshop today.
Okay, thank you. So welcome to the Market Research Workshop. And the main goal of this session is to introduce you to the marketing resources that you have access to here on the University of Maryland campus. If you're staff, faculty, or student, these resources are available to you. So the gateway to the marketing resources is through a portal, which is called Virtual Business Information Center, or VBIC for short, and it was developed specifically for business research. It's a one-stop shop that gives you access to many important information sources. So it's easiest to access it through the library homepage, which is lib.umd.edu. Click on databases, and then just type VBIC, Virtual Business Information Center, and there you are, and it gives you a short explanation what it is all about. And I click on VBIC. Oh, and I have to log in. Okay, so give me a second. VBIC is also listed if you're a faculty member and you teach any classes at the Smith School. It is listed in all the ELMS courses on the table of contents. It's the last title in the section of and the table of contents, and it's available in all the Smith School classes. So this is what VBIC looks like. It's organized by key business topics, as you can see them right here. And within each topic is a list of databases, which is listed in hierarchical order, with the one listed first are the ones that you should begin to do your research. On the left-hand side is a table of contents, and you can look at the core business disciplines, and you can look at it from this side or from the main screen. You can search by topic, by title, find articles and news if that's what you want. If you want to know how to cite the tools that you're using, there's a link to how to cite the different formats. Research support is something that the library provides, and I'll just quickly go to that screen. We have a statistical consulting service that you can send a question or ask for a meeting. And there's GIS and Data Service Center as well, in addition to all the other services that we provide. So I thought it would be important for you just to see what it is that we have. Let me go back to the screen. Okay. Off-campus access, it's going to take you through to the library homepage and tell you exactly what to do, just what I did a minute ago. For the help screen, it links you to me. as one of the business librarians, and my colleagues' ideas, and these are our emails. And there's a little blurb here about Vivek and what it's all about. So I'm going to go back to the home page and just have the screen in front of everybody. So market research, what is it exactly? So basically, it's a process of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information about a target market. So you're looking at the consumers, the competitors, as well as the industry. So the resources that I will introduce you to will help you understand the market, the customers, the competition, as well as the industry that you're planning to be a part of. And the main reason why you want to perform market research, it helps you to be informed and make informed decisions, helps you understand your buyers, your customers, and it sort of takes the guesswork out of decision-making and strategic planning. So market research includes demographic data, data that represents a group of people or a market segment that gives you a good understanding of important factors which define the user, such as their average age, the race, the gender, income, which is very important, and to see whether they can afford the product or the service, what their education level is, the language they speak at home, whether they rent a home or they own it, and even the citizenship status you can get from many of these census data sources, but we have other sources as well. So one of the major databases that the library subscribes to and provides market research reports is Mintel. And the way to get to Mintel, you can go through here the side menu by title, or you can go to marketing, and it's listed as the very first title because we think that's the one that you should start with when you're looking for market research information. So Mintel provides full text reports that analyze market size, market trends, consumer attitudes, purchasing habits, their opportunities, and the future of the market. And the reports are based on actual surveys, which are also included in the database. So you can see how the different age groups and ethnic groups or whatever variables you put in have answered questions that deal with a particular product. The thing that also should be aware of Mintel, it's a very expensive database. So if you by chance happen to do a Google search and you come up with a Mintel report, they're anywhere from $500 to $5,000, and we're just very lucky that we have access to it here at the library website. And so you have to say that you acknowledge these permissions and prohibitions, and then you continue into the database. Okay, so hopefully it's working. Yes. Okay, so here we are. This is what it looks like. So Mintel has different types of content. And if you click here, it shows you the different content types. And to identify what the different content types are, you click on the little question mark, and it tells you that the reports are a very comprehensive look at the consumer market, and it links you to all the reports. And I don't know if you saw when I clicked on the content first, there were over 4,000 comprehensive reports. Industry trends sort of look at the industry and how it looks now, how it's going to look in the future, the trends there. Expert insights look at topical insights, the latest developments in your market. And then there's the news to keep you up to date on what's going on in the retail market in Europe. We do not get much of the European or international content in Mintel. We just can't afford to do that. So mostly what you get will be for US-based markets. You can also search it by keyword or by category. So here are the different categories. So if you're interested in something, say like technology in media, you can go to the media, and it has a report on maybe social media, if that's an interest. or you can go to technology and it will have a report on a marketing research report on any of these topics that you select. So there's the filter by category. You can also go by region, but unfortunately, we just get the US. Now and then you'll see one maybe for Canada or UK. This is a UK product, but we don't get the comprehensive reports from UK. Maybe some of the news and insights may be from other places, but most of the comprehensive reports are from the US. You can also get trend drivers. So if experiences are important to your product, or you want to look again at the technology, who are the early adopters, they would be a report dealing with that. And a very important section is the demographics, like who are your customers? What is your target market? How do they feel about different issues? How do they spend their money? What opportunities are there for them in different things? So you can look by, baby boomers or Gen Zs or just lifestyles in general and get a report on that particular demographic, okay? So there are a couple of special reports, and depending on what your interests are, they're not very many. There may be 4 or 5 reports, so I'm just gonna skip that for now. You can also look at reports by keywords, and it's a good idea to put your keywords in quotes and keep them sort of short. So a very important issue right now, I would think, for any product or service is economic outlook. And while there isn't that you can tell a report in the category or in the demographics, if you type the keywords, within a couple of seconds, you see there's a consumers and the economic outlook for summer US 2024. So you click on it, and here's the report. What you want to do is wait a couple of seconds and wait for the table of contents, which should appear here on the left-hand side, and there it is. So here is the information. It gives you an executive summary, which is right here, and that includes the consumer trends, the key takeaways, and as well as the opportunities. It looks at consumer insights, which I will take a quick look here. So here, consumer financial outlook, financial behavior, economic concerns. So you can click on any of these headings, and as you can see, you will get a lot of information. You get charts, you get graphs, you get analysis of the results that are based on the surveys that we will look at in just a minute, what this information is based on, the surveys that they do. So every year, the survey is done on about 2,000 people of different ages, different incomes, different education levels. And there's the raw data that you can look at, but then they analyze the data in these reports. And so this is inflation remains consumers' top ranking economic concern. And as we all know, listening to the news, this is a concern for a lot of people. And so here it talks about all these different issues, how people feel about these situations in the different households, and their charts and graphs. And I don't want to make you seasick as I'm going through it, but I think you get the idea of the kind of information that you get in here. It's very detailed and with a lot of, as I said, graphs and analysis based on the survey. So I'm going to take you here to the survey is right here, consumers and the economic outlook. And within a couple of seconds, this is what the survey looks like. And you can watch it or read it in 2 different ways. You can go by graph or you can go by table. So just to show you what the graphs look like. So this was the question, when are you planning to purchase a new home? And as you go down here, it tells you, I do not plan to purchase, and all these other possibilities, answers, and you can download this information. And as you scroll down, there's another question, has your financial situation changed? And so on and so forth, okay? Now, I like to look at it in explore demographics because the colors sort of are hard on my eyes. So you can click on explore demographics, and in a couple of seconds, the questions come up here. And you can choose whatever question you want information on. And for example, okay. So which of the following changes to your household budget have you made in the past 6 months? So say that's the question you want information on. Excuse me. And as you scroll down, it also gives you the age groups and their responses to the questions depending on their gender, or you can also look at the age groups. Here, male, female, I guess you have to select that. Here, within demographics for this particular survey, and for actually all surveys, you can select all these different variables. So if education is important, or age groups are important, or marital status, or anything here, you can select that, and the table will reflect what you selected. And so here, again, is the table with the questions here on the side, and they will change depending on which, little circle you selected. So buy more on credit, use credit cards. So you might want to see what the responses were there. And here, I've done this in the past 6 months. I would do this if forced to restrict my budget. And here are the different age groups. And there was a sample of 2,000, 966 male, 1,000 female, and the age groups here with the responses. Okay. And you can download this information. Yes. Okay.
We had a question come up in Q&A. The question was, could you try something like biopharmaceutical manufacturing? And I kind of wanted to add on to that question though. Is my understanding correct in that Mintel is more a consumer specific market report? Like it'll only be kind of individual consumers? Yeah, and so you can answer both those questions.
Yeah, it's more for consumer information, and they don't cover like the whole world of the different industries. You could try looking, let me go back to Mintel here. And just try to type in, because they have the categories and the different products, but I'm sorry, what was it again? The sorry.
Biopharmaceutical manufacturing, which is a hard word to spell. I'll put it in the chat here. Yeah, biopharmaceutical. Put it in the chat. There we go.
Did I spell it? Pharmaceutical. Let me just try that word itself, and I don't need it to be in quotes, but yeah, I just started with that. Let me just get rid of I think for that, there'll be another database we're going to look at, and that would be IBIS World, which looks at industries, over 12,000 industries, and it will give you a lot of detailed information on the competition, on trends, on challenges that the industry is facing, and possibly that will be in IBIS World, but it's about 12,000 plus industries, and I'm not sure if this is one of them, but maybe close, something close. But it doesn't look like, I don't think there's anything here, although here it says 21 results. So they're looking at pharmaceuticals, the consumer, how they use. And here, I guess the word biopharmaceutical is right here. Well, it's in the summary of what the report is about. So yeah, so you could look at it and see if it provides some of the information that would be important to you. Okay, so it does have the report, the market, the brand, and I don't know where that word appears, but let's just maybe quickly look at the market. And then, yeah, pharmaceuticals, issues in the market. I can try Control F and put in and here, this is where they mention it. And there was only one instance where So here it talks about we'll face billions of dollars in price cuts and fees because of that. But that's from 2012 and 2014. So I don't know how current. Doesn't sound very current. So there's not a lot here, but at least maybe you'll get some kind of insight what was happening in the past and maybe what's happening now by going to IBIS World and getting more data on that. If there are no other questions, I'm just quickly going to go to this section, consumer data. This takes you directly to the surveys, and it lists the surveys that were done in September. And this is, a way just to see all the different surveys, but you can also type something like social media and see what surveys are there that include information about social media. And there's this social media tracker, which was done September 24. So that's pretty current. And if you click on it within a couple of seconds, it's going to give you information about the social media that different people use and how often do they use it. So this is how often do you visit the following social media sites. And here are, the sites listed and how often do you use it. So this one was multiple times per day, once per day, all the different colors. And you can also do it as explore demographics, which again is a little easier, I think, for me anyway. And here are the gender, male, female, and here you can just click on, I don't know, Pinterest or Instagram, I think is popular, and see male, female, and how often they look at this, once a day, a few times a week. And again, you can go back to the top and add a demographic if you wanted age or if you wanted education or whatever other variable you wanted to add and look at, you could do that as well. So I think I'm going to go on. If there are no questions about Mintel, I hope you get at least a feel for what kind of information it provides. It's basically about the consumer, their likes, dislikes, how they spend their money, how do they feel about certain things. And you can search it by categories, by region, mostly US, the trend drivers. Oops, let me just go here a second. The trend drivers and the demographics. And of course, you can also put in keywords here, but just a couple of keywords in quotes usually, so they'll be next to each other. So the economic outlook or social media, I would put quotes around the phrase so they come next to each other and not social media. Social appears in one part of the report and media somewhere else. So if that's okay, no questions, I'm going to go on to the next source, which is sort of a, let me see how I can get out. I think I need to go back to, I'm going to go to, it's easier for me to do it this way. And you can also get into the VBIC site by typing lib.umd.edu/VBIC. And that's another quick way to get in. I'm going to go back to marketing. So when we looked at Mintel, that provided an analysis and gave you the survey that the analysis was based on. Another really great source is Simply Analytics, which gives you the raw data based on over 100,000 variables. So I'm going to go to Simply Analytics, and I'm going to sign in as a guest. And just quickly sign in. Let me get rid of this. Okay, let me see where I am with this. So when you first get in, it gives you like a 15-second demonstration of how, or a quick tour of Simply Analytics. So I'm going to skip that. I'm going to give you a longer tour. And so every screen that when you first begin this database or doing a search in this database, it starts with this new project. So I have to put in locations. That's what the first thing you need to do. So I'm going to put in Baltimore, say Baltimore City, And you can put in as many cities as you want. I don't know if there's a minimum, but I can find out if somebody's interested. But I usually put in 3, 4 cities. But for this example, I'll just put in Baltimore and DC. And then it defaults to all these different data that you can also look at. But I'm just going to leave it with median household income and educational attainment, and going to create a project. So within a couple of seconds, you will see a map. And right now we're looking at the educational attainment. Median household income is here, and I can select that as well after I look at the education. So this is the education, Baltimore, and it's by zip code. And it's telling you, you know, what percent of people in this particular zip code have a degree, a bachelor's degree or higher with this dark red number. And then it gives you all these other variables that you can look at. So this is the map. In addition, you can look at the ranking, how they're ranked. So this is Baltimore by zip code, and this is median household income. You can change that to go from largest to smallest, and within this zip code, 83.14% of people have an education with a degree BA or higher. Okay, so you can do it that. So that's the ranking. You can also get a quick report, which gives you a lot of demographics based on census data that gives you the age for Baltimore and Washington, and also the US. I think it has US here too. And as you scroll down, it has the age, the race and ethnicity for the different cities, places that you select, that I selected. Income, median income, and education, language, citizenship, housing. Okay, so this is sort of quick and dirty information on the population for Baltimore, Washington, and you can select, again, different areas, of course. And then there's the comparison table, which compares the Baltimore, Washington, DC area. Okay, so moving along, on this side, you can add another location if you want to, and you can just click on location and you can add another location. You can add more data if you want to, but I want to add a business, and the only way I can do that is I have to go to the map. Click on map, and then it highlights the business, and I'm going to put in auto repair. I want to start an auto repair shop, and I want to look at the areas that possibly would be the best places for me to do it. So within a couple of seconds, I'm in Baltimore by zip code, educational attainment. I can change it to median household income. And it's telling me this is where the auto repair shops are, right in this area, all these little circles you can see here. So the other thing I can do is when I click here on the business icon that came up after I typed auto repair, it appeared. And within a couple of seconds, I should get the addresses of the businesses. So there are 96 repair shops in Baltimore. I can also do it for DC. I'm just going to leave it with Baltimore for now. And as I scroll across, you will notice it's telling me more information about the companies, line of business, and very important for future research, it gives you the primary NAICS code, the North American Industry Classification codes that assign to auto repair shops. You'll notice most of them have 8111, some of them because they also deal with sales, so they have a slightly different NAICS code. Okay, so remember the 8111 because we're going to use it in another database. Okay, so moving along, I'm going to go back. Let me see what I was going to show you next. Okay, I'm going to go to, bear with me just a second, gotta find my notes. I don't lose anything. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the map and I'm going to click on data because I want to know more about the consumer behavior dealing with auto repairs. So I'm going to click on consumer behavior. And within consumer behavior, I can scroll down and click on automotive. And here are demographics and all kinds of information, but I can also type in the word repair at this point because it goes on for a long screen here. And here it's telling me the different repairs that are available, information on, and now I want to look at, what was it? Engine. Vehicle or engine repairs, household average. On the average, how much do they spend on that particular repair? And so I click on that. And then as I scroll down, I believe it's gonna also tell me, yeah, how much they spend in the last 12 months. So $1 to $50 or 51 to 100. So I'm gonna go say for maybe people who don't maybe spend as much. So I will go with $100 to $200 in the last 12 months. And I'm looking at the percentage rather than the number of people. So I'm just gonna click on that. And then maybe also look at, maybe some people spend more and maybe I wanna look at where they are so I can see maybe that's where I should have my shop. So I'm gonna go to 500 to 800. And I'm gonna close it. And within a couple of seconds, you will notice that this is showing me automotive aftermarket repairs, total spent in the last 12 months between $500 and $800. And this is where they are. So the dark red looks like this is an area that has spent more money. And as I scroll over to the side, I can see there's a whole area over here near Columbia, not exactly Baltimore, but around here, they have spent between $500 and $800 in the last 12 months, and there were more than 7% of people who did that. There's also here around, is that, I don't know what town that is, Gatesville or Gatonsville, but there are not that many shops maybe in this area. So it gives me an idea, maybe I can start a shop in this area because the people there have spent at least that much money, at least between 7 and going up to 100% spend a lot of money on repairs. And if I go to this one, it's between 100 and $200, and this area is a lot bigger. So as you can tell, 5.29%, but there's a lot of opportunity maybe here because there are not a lot of shops. Most of them are here, but there's nothing here. So maybe I could start my shop here. So it's giving you an idea of what's going on within that particular area. Also the income, you can go back to the median household income and it's showing you, they have a lot more money here. So you can sort of strategize and see where would be the best place for you to open up an auto repair shop. Now, the other thing that I want to show you just a second, within this option, I'm going to click on data folder and scroll down to Simmons, MRI Simmons local data, and go down to psychographics. Okay, so when I go to psychographics, there are lots of opportunities here, and I can look at attitudes toward advertising. So it might give me an idea how best to advertise. How do people feel about the different ways that they look at advertising? Or I can look at the cars, automotive attitudes. So I guess I'm going to look at automotive attitudes just to get an idea what cars people buy. And so one of the things I thought is, let me see, which one was it? Works well, always maintain my vehicle. So here is, I buy vehicles that reflect my commitment to support the environment. So if I want to have an auto shop that deals with maybe electric cars or hybrids, so let me see how that works. So I'm going to click on that, and then this is giving you options. So buy vehicles that reflect my commitment. I agree completely. And then there's some that agree somewhat, any agree, or disagree completely. So I'm going to go to the percent again, so it's even, and take a look at the map for that. So right now, for auto repair shop in Baltimore, when I look at the map, it's showing me that the people who completely, disagree about commitment to support their environment. So they don't care about the environment. And so, oops, I got the median household income. I didn't want that. I wanted this one. And so it's showing you where those people are. So the people around Ellicott City could care less about that reflect my commitment to support the environment. So this might be a place that I may or may not want to do this auto repair shop, or I can go to the other one and see that, yes, I agree completely that I am committed, and go to this area, which is a little over all the dark red. And it seems like all these areas, they are completely committed to support the environment and buy vehicles that support that. So there are different ways that you can look at it and see. The psychographics are really cool ways to get a feel for how people feel about different aspects of the situation. And to learn more about this, there's how to use this database. There are tutorials. There's also a training guide that you can download, and it takes probably about an hour or so to go through it, and you get a lot more detailed information of how to search it. Are there any questions? I know there's a lot to go through, but hopefully at least you get a feel of the kind of data that you get in this particular source. So it's raw data that you see, and you can download it, of course. Okay. So moving on. The next thing, sorry, I have to get out of here. I can't seem to find my way back to, I'm going to go back to the VIVIC, lib.umd.edu/VBIC. And moving on. So the next one is looking at the industry. So you look at the marketing situation, how the consumers feel about the different products, the different opportunities that are available to you. But you want to also look at the industry. What are the trends, the challenges? What is going on within the industry? Very important to know. And the major database that we have is called IBIS World. And let me just click on it. Here, let me get this away so you can see it. So there are about 12, almost 13,000 industries. And the nice thing about IBIS World is that the reports give you a SWOT analysis on the industry, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that the industry is facing, as well as they look at the competition and the Porter's 5 forces. You know, what is the power of the suppliers or the buyers? What's going on with that? And here you can search by the code. So if you remember, I think it was 5, no, it was 8. 8.1, yeah, auto mechanics in the US. And so this is the industry, or you can type the keyword. And I'm just going to go and look at the report. And here are the table of contents. And you can download all this information as well. And key takeaways. What is the performance of mechanical and electrical repair, maintenance of the different vehicles? How is the industry expanding, external environment, products and services? And I think if you scroll down just a little bit, that within the at a glance section, there is the SWOT analysis. What are the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats for the industry? It also then gives you information on the performance, the products. I just want to go to the section that deals with, where's the competitive forces? And that's where you get a detailed explanation about the buyers, the suppliers, their power, and here competition, barriers to entry is steady and low concentration. So all the statistics that possibly would be very important for you to know, be aware about before you get into this particular area. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to go back. And I remember there was a question about biopharmaceuticals. Let me maybe just do that and see.
That was exactly what I was going to ask. I think it was biopharmaceutical manufacturing. But yeah, I think this is the database that somebody would look that up in because it's more industry based, right?
Right. Biopharmaceutical, huh?
Oh, you got brand name pharmaceutical manufacturing in Canada.
Yeah, it's pharmaceuticals. I don't see anything. I'm just going to put in biopharmaceuticals. That's very different. Let me try 3 results, but they don't look very good, do they? Clinical trials, brand name pharmaceutical manufacturing in Canada, but not the biopharmaceutical. Possibly that might be helpful. Let me just go to manufacturing. And see, and add pharma. Maybe truncated. The truncation symbol is sort of universal. It gives you all the different endings after pharma. So here's chemical product manufacturing. Is there anything here that genetic, alpha pharma solutions, biotechnology? That's pretty much it. Is that any help at all?
So Ken asked the question, Ken, I've allowed you to talk. Based on your question, are there any of these reports on the screen that you think you would want to look more closely at? You're on mute if you're trying to answer.
Oh, yes, the biotech would be great.
I'm sorry.
So did you hear that, Lily? I think the bottom one that's just biotechnology.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Biotechnology in the US would fit the kind of category that he's looking at.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So it has the major players, the major products. And you see here again at a glance, if you want to see what the SWOT is. You know, I always like to look at the SWOT and see what are the strengths, the weaknesses, the barriers to entry here, how it's structured. Here it is. So you get a really good quick look at what's going on within the industry, the external drivers. And there is a lot of detail. You know, when you click on show all, you click on chapters, it just gets into a lot of detail. What the external environment is, the products and markets. I don't know, here within these sections, you'll notice there's a lot of information. So I'm not going to take time. I think I don't know how much time we have, but I just thought it's not a really difficult database to use, not like Simply Analytics, which has a lot of steps. You just type in either the NAICS code or keywords, and it comes up, and maybe related industries will come up that would give you a lot of information that you otherwise will not be able to find. And here's related industry products, which I can't seem to call on. And oh, the other one that's kind of cool, they have prep questions. So if you're looking for a job and you have a job interview, it will tell you maybe what questions you may want to ask during the interview, so you sound really intelligent and knowledgeable about the industry, possibly more even than the person who's interviewing you. So here is some information that might be helpful too within the prep questions right here. But you notice there's lots and lots of information within here. about the major markets, international trade, imports, exports. So lots and lots of detail about this particular industry. And of course, you can just type in the NAICS code like we did before for the auto repair, or you can do keywords or the name of a company and see what comes up. Are there any questions? Because that was kind of a simple one to do. So I'm going to go on because there are a couple of others. One more database. Let me see how I can get back to. There are no questions, right? I can go on. We're good?
We're good. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, come on. Oh, I misspelled it. Of course. lib.umd.edu/VBIC. Okay, so we're back to VBIC and we looked at the industry. I'm going to go back to the marketing. There is a database that unfortunately isn't used much. It's an international database. It looks at over 200, as you can tell, 205 countries. And it provides an awful lot of information about the country, especially if you do a pest, ask for a pest analysis, which stands for, what is it? I can't think of what it stands for. It's economic, social, technology, and I'm losing it for the P. Let me just show you. Pest. And you have to be careful because sometimes you get pests instead of pests. So here's a pest analysis. And as I scroll down, I think I can put in US. And there's analysis for the US. And this is a report that gives you a lot of detail. If you're going into another country, I did it in the United States, but look, it's political. That's what it is. I'm trying to stay away from politics. So that P just got away from me. So it's political, economic, social, and technological. So pest environment. And it goes through all the sections here, step by step. It talks about the different issues that will be within each section. And then it has discussion, the challenges, the opportunities, the strength, the weaknesses, and so on. So this is a really nice report, especially if you're going internationally, and you can get a pest analysis of the country that you are interested in. Another one that's really interesting is the consumers. And here it tells you when you use their consumer research, it helps you to grow your reach by understanding the consumer preferences in different markets. And so doing that, we're going to go to lifestyles. And so this is a report on the different lifestyles. And you can look, so these are the top 5 global population trends, what's going, and very current, September 24, consumer trends here, and you can click on view all, and it will give you a list of all the other reports that are available that deal with the consumers in the different countries. And if you want to get more detail in terms of statistics, there is a way here to get different geographies, different topics, different analyses. And these are the keywords that you can click on, and it takes you to that particular report that deals with that particular issue. So these are just lifestyle analyses and the different reports on the different countries. Another one that's kind of interesting is economics, economies. And within the business dynamics is really good, but I just saw this one. I went to this one when I was getting ready for this presentation, and there was one that I thought was really important to us, is the US 2024 elections implications for the global economy. Very current report, and this is an opinion that they provide. Passport is a very reliable source of information. Their research is top-notch, and it's something that would be important to look at, especially if you're going outside the US to see what's going on in the different countries in terms of their industry, the economies, the consumers. I'm going to go back to this, and just Business Dynamics has an article that I thought was kind of interesting. When you click on view all, one second, and these are the analyses. And within a couple of seconds, I think it was number 6 that I saw. Which one was it? Yeah, new economic reality, changing labor markets. And there was a link to AI reports. And so after reading this, you may want to take a look at what is this dealing with artificial intelligence. And there's a report. So it's sort of a quick way to go read something and then see what else is there on that particular topic. And here's autonomous and connected, the future global automotive landscape. And their consumer electronics. Why did I think it dealt with AI? I guess I somehow missed that. Top trends, world market, alcoholic. I guess AI stands for more than just artificial intelligence. So anyway, so this is another type of report that you can look at, autonomous vehicles, which is part of AI, I assume, and how they're being driven by artificial intelligence. So this is a report on that. So I guess this is basically all that I want to say about this database. So you can search it these different ways. I'll look at the different sections, and then they provide you with reports dealing with that particular issue to continue the research that you may want to have. I was thinking to show you a search because of the biopharmaceutical. It still sort of bothers me that we didn't find much on that, but I'm gonna go to Google and show you, possibly you're familiar with it, but you can do a domain search. So you can click on, and the domain could be gov or org or edu. Org deals for nonprofits or organizations, associations, and type in biopharmaceutical manufacturing. And you could type in statistics or trends or challenges, or, this is Google, so you can type any other terms. And so this is from pharma.org, pharmaceutical manufacturing. And there is something from another organization. So I don't know, possibly there's something from annual reviews. Okay, 2022, historical perspectives. So this is another way, that you can search for information on something that you may not have found anywhere else, and possibly look at gov. What is the government doing? So this is from National Institute of Health. Some things here, National Science Foundation, management firm, Mind the Gap, Bridging the Valley of Death for US. So here are some other things. Manufacturing.gov has some information, and here is, they're promoting 153 million, promote innovation and biopharmaceutical manufacturing. So Department of Commerce, National Institute of probably Technology. So that's one way. And the last one would be, of course, EDU. What are the other colleges, universities doing? And here, and you can put in the year maybe to make it more current. This is 2017, but the different universities and what research, and it tells you how many times this has been cited. So that might be something you want to take a look at. And this are the different universities and what research they have done with this. So I was going to, I don't know, I hope that was helpful in terms of using Google I'm gonna go. I know we have just a few minutes left. So are there any questions? I'm back to Vivek because I was going to look at find articles and news. And there are a couple of sources that might be important. One is for articles. There's a database called Business Source Complete, which covers thousands of journals and magazines and chapters from books, monographs, all kinds of resources. Actually, it has the Harvard Business Review going back to the very first issue, full text. It also can be searched for things like market share or market size and whatever industry or product you want to take a look at, see if there are any articles for that. And the one I just wanted to briefly show you for newspapers, if you, oh no, there's, oh gee, there's maintenance for that. Oh, that's too bad. I thought October 5th, so what are they doing now? Today's Monday. Oh, here we go. Okay, that was just an announcement, I guess, for future. So this is a Dow Jones product, and I'm sure as you all know, Dow Jones is responsible for the Wall Street Journal. And here, the very first thing that you see when you get in is the newsstand. And so you have access to the Wall Street Journal, today's Wall Street Journal. This is the front page. And you have all these sections here that you can go to and read in full text, the New York Times, even though we now have a separate subscription to the New York Times that lets you look at every single section within the New York Times, and you can set up your own sort of profile and get updates. And if you go to the library homepage and just type in under journals, the New York Times, or under databases, New York Times, either one I think should work, and it will tell you how to log in. So there's the Washington Post. And as you scroll down, it gives you the top news, trending companies, trending subjects, custom topics dealing with the economy, politics, international relations. And also this looks like, I'm not sure what that is, US securities. And when you click on the little buttons that are next to here, it takes you to the other papers that are part of our subscription. So it's LA Times, USA Today. And then I think we also get Forbes. These are the newspapers, Boston Globe. Oh, Barron's, we get Barron's. The New York Post. And oh, we do get Forbes as well. So Barron's and Forbes and the Miami Herald, no results. I guess this is about it. So the other one, the most important one, I would think would be the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and of course the Washington Post. Are there any questions?
Questions in the Q&A right now?
I'm going to go back to lib.umd.edu/Bibic. And just to sort of summarize, this is my name, my email. If you have any questions, you need any help, please feel free to contact me. Zaida Diaz is my colleague. You can send email to both of us. This is Bibic, our super one-stop shopping portal. And within the marketing section, you will see the databases that we have for your use. If you have any questions, I know it maybe was a little fast from Intel for Simply Analytics. For Passport, again, if you want to search it, if you want to set up a meeting, be more than happy to do that. We also have, of course, these other sections here that might be of interest within industry. You looked at IBIS World, the industry database, finance and investment. There's a lot of information from Value Line and Morningstar on the companies the publicly traded companies that you can take a look at through those two databases. Internationally, for country information, we have the passport and we have the EIU Viewswire that gives you a lot of information about the political, economic environment within the countries that you might be interested in. Okay, that's all I got.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Lily. This has been really helpful. If folks have questions, we can stay here for a minute or two. But I highly recommend just kind of logging in and starting to play around with these resources. I'm already got Simply Analytics open and I've been looking at some of the stuff so I can answer people's questions. But again, really appreciate it. Like you said, your contact information is there on the website, and we appreciate everybody who showed up today. Doesn't look like there's any questions coming through. So I'll close this up, and thanks again. And
Okay, thank you.
all right, talk to you later.
Okay, bye.